Researchers have recently discovered a macOS variant of the notorious LightSpy surveillance framework. Initially thought to be an iOS implant, this new version exhibits improved capabilities and more organized processes. The macOS LightSpy framework employs advanced techniques, including certificate pinning to maintain undetected communication with its command and control server, or C2, otherwise called C2. Its expanded capabilities encompass file theft from apps like Telegram, QQ, or WeChat, audio recording, data harvesting, and system access. Notably, the macOS variant seems more organized and exhibits enhanced operational security compared to its iOS counterpart. LightSpy, a sophisticated piece of spyware, has been identified with a variant that specifically targets macOS systems. This malware exhibits advanced surveillance capabilities, making it a significant threat to users. LightSpy's macOS variant. Advanced surveillance features. The spyware is capable of collecting a wide range of data, including keystrokes, screenshots, and potentially sensitive information from applications and files. Exfiltration mechanisms. LightSpy can transmit the collected data back to a command and control server operated by the attackers, ensuring continuous monitoring and data theft. Persistence mechanisms. It employs various techniques to maintain persistence on the infected system, making it difficult to detect and remove. Exploitation techniques. LightSpy might leverage vulnerabilities in macOS or commonly used applications to gain initial access or escalate privileges. Targeted attacks. The malware is often deployed in targeted attacks, aimed at specific individuals or organizations, rather than indiscriminately spreading across a wide user base. Threat Fabric's analysis has revealed that the macOS flavor has been active in the wild since at least January 2024, but confined to just about 20 devices, a majority of which are said to be test devices. The attack chain begins with the exploitation of CVE 2018-4233, a Safari WebKit flaw, via rogue HTML pages to trigger code execution, leading to the delivery of a 64-bit macOS binary that masquerades as a PNG image file. The binary is primarily designed to extract and launch a shell script that, in turn, fetches 3 additional payloads, a privilege escalation exploit, an encryption/decryption utility, and a zip archive. The script subsequently extracts the contents of the zip archive update and update list and assigns root privileges to both of them. The information property list on plist file is used to set up persistence for the other file such that it's launched every time after a system restart. The update file aka masterloader acts as a loader for the LightSpy core component, allowing the latter to establish contact with a command and control server and retrieve commands as well as download plugins. The macOS version comes with support for 10 different plugins to capture audio from the microphone, take photos, record screen activity, harvest and delete files, execute shell commands, grab the list of installed applications and running processes, and extract data from web browsers Safari and Google Chrome and iCloud Keychain. 2 other plugins further make it possible to capture information about all the other devices that are connected to the same network as the victim, the list of Wi-Fi networks the device has connected to, and details about the nearby Wi-Fi networks. The findings come from both Huntress Labs and Threat Fabric, which separately analyzed the artifacts associated with the cross-platform malware framework that likely possesses capabilities to infect Android, iOS, Windows, macOS, Linux, and routers from NETGEAR, Linksys, and ASUS. LightSpy was first publicly reported in 2020, although subsequent reports from Lookout and the Dutch mobile security firm have revealed possible connections between the spyware and an Android surveillance tool called Dragon Egg. Earlier this April, BlackBerry disclosed what it said was a renewed cyber espionage campaign targeting users in South Asia to deliver an iOS version of LightSpy. But this has now been found to be a much more refined macOS version that employs a plugin-based system to harvest various kinds of information. The development comes as Android devices have been targeted with known banking trojans such as BankBot and SpyNote in attacks aimed at mobile banking app users in Uzbekistan and Brazil, as well as by impersonating a Mexico telecom service provider to infect users in Latin America and the Caribbean. It also comes as a report from Access Now and the Citizen Lab uncovered evidence of Pegasus spyware attacks targeting 7 Russian and Belarusian-speaking opposition activists and independent media in Latvia, Lithuania, and Poland. The use of Pegasus spyware to target Russian and Belarusian-speaking journalists and activists dates back until at least 2020, with more attacks following Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022, Access Now said, adding a single Pegasus spyware operator may be behind the targeting of at least 3 of the victims and possibly all 5. Against such threats, users should keep their macOS and all applications up to date with the latest security patches. Use reputable security software to detect and remove malware. Be cautious with email attachments, links, and downloads from unknown sources. Regularly back up important data to recover in case of an infection.